we have about another 150. We're trying to be very careful that our first responders are safe in getting prayer. And we just need to, work through this. We've been up to 1710. We've had many hurricanes before. We'll have them in the future, but we're a very tenacious group of folks down here. We love all Americans, and we are just our arms are welcome to folks coming into our community. And so, we'll have these sidewalks cleaned off, and we'll have these roads fixed, and we'll be back in business.
Trucks buried. Look at the cars.
We do have teams coming in
buried underwater.
Missouri. We have a rescue team that's called me a couple hours ago that's coming in from Houston, Texas. So we just appreciate so much the resources. President Trump doing the emergency declaration, and again on the state level, we're getting the resources we need. The National Guard is here. We've been door to door. We knew this was coming. We have fire trucks with PA systems going around the communities, followed by National Guard, followed by City of New Bern recreational buses to get folks in these buses and get them to state shelters.
That's all good to hear, and appreciate and admire your spirit and your resiliency, Mayor Dana Outlaw. And you do have our prayers. You take care. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. It's just when you think about it, state, local, national, the concerted effort when it comes to a storm like this, and that's a perfect example of how he's talking about people coming from Houston. You have the Cajun Navy, and locally what they're doing to help themselves.
And he seemed like a real calm leader in that time of crisis. We have just heard that the hurricane has made landfall right now. We're going to have much more on Hurricane Florence ahead.
Okay, guys, I am going to let you look at Samson for a minute.
Yeah. We believe.
And I'm going to see what else we can find here. The Ferris wheel down in Virginia Beach is going around in circles. It's supposed to be tethered. I guess it broke its tether. All right, here we go.
Conditions are tough, and boy, we've just been hitting relenting for rain, and you can see the wind as well. So, and the gusts when they come are pretty solid. So we'll let you know if we get that high. I'll let you know, and we'll see. We might be able to come out because the rain will stop. We might even be able to see the sky. That would be a treat. The only treat in a hurricane like this.
Yeah, very good.
Hey, Jeff, you're there in Carolina Beach. I know we have been talking about how many hundreds of people have called first responders to rescue them in New Bern, North Carolina, because of the inundation and 10 feet of water in some spots. How many, any idea from the local authorities there in Carolina Beach, how many people who were told to evacuate, when push came to shove, they wound up calling the police saying, hey, I need help? Now, I don't have any idea about how many have changed their mind. The people who live here, though, that were staying, and once we talk to, they've been through a lot of hurricanes, they are prepared. The thing is, we don't have that same issue here with that inland flooding issue, because, as I said, that counterflow has kept the water off in terms of surge. I mean, that would have been the real thing that would have killed us, would be the surge. And the storm has not gone past us yet. Until it goes past us, we will not get that onshore flow, and so you will not get storm surge. I wish I could show you. I can't bring the camera in this weather over to the surf side. Ben's pointing it in that direction. On the other side of that berm and that boardwalk that you see up there, that is where the ocean is. And right now, that wind, as you see, is pushing those waves back, knocking the waves down, keep the surge at bay. When it comes faster, we get the other flow. That's when we may get some storm. I don't think the storm will be powerful enough to really inundate us here. So that is one of the positives. See, Jason may be going out there trying to see what the wind speed is. I don't know. See, there it is. Hey, let me see if I can get the wind speed here. What is it? You see it? I can't say I'm old.
It's gone down. I was giving it 40 something. I pulled it away.
Yeah, okay. 40 sustained there, and I suspect we're maybe in 70, 80 mile an hour winds. But, you think, oh, geez, isn't it 100 miles, whatever? No, these winds are not that strong. I mean, comparatively to what this could have been. So,
Jeff, did you talk to people?
Still a good blow, though.
Jeff, I'm curious, did you talk to people who decided to stay? And if so, what was their reason for staying?
people's lives are coming.
I'm changing it back. Commercial still. Sorry, guys.
No, she will not leave. She's lived here her whole life. Somebody else said, I've got 4 dogs, 2 cats. There's no place I can go that will take them. Other people have said, listen, I got a solid house. I talked to a guy, he said, I've got a steel, concrete built house. I've got a 2nd floor. I'm not going anywhere. There are a multiplicity of reasons why people choose not to go. A lot of these homes are vacation homes, so not a problem. Those people go, hey, see ya. But if you've lived here, and particularly if you've lived here a long time, there's some savvy. I don't know. Can you see that house right across the street? There's guys in that house. Can you see it? Thanks for moving. I don't want to put him in any jeopardy. That house right there, there are people in that house. We thought we'd talk to them, but not a good idea at the moment. But you can go back. Go ahead back, Ben. Go, get crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's a multiplicity of reasons why people choose to stay, and there are a lot of people. I hate to say this, I think some people will be happy they did if this doesn't get any worse. Because, when you leave, it's a while to get back, it's disruptive. If you can stay, I don't want to say that almost, I don't want to say that.
You just did.
Live Force in North Carolina. Thank you so much, Jeff. We have a Fox News alert. We are just being told that Florence has officially made landfall. Let's bring in the North Carolina Governor, Roy Cooper, to talk to him about the situation. Thank you so much, Governor, for being with us.
Hi, guys. Make sure your reporters are safe out there. A lot of wind blowing, a lot of rain, a lot of floodwaters.
They're in safe places, up in the shadow of big, strong buildings. Governor, can you tell us the very latest on, it seems as if the most dire situation has been a New Bern in North Carolina, where the water came up 10 feet in some spots. We had the mayor on a couple of hours ago, and he said that they'd been telling people to move up to the 2nd floor, and for the most part that was successful before people were being rescued. But still waiting. One woman they weren't able to get to at that point. She was in the attic, and she was waiting for first responders. How are the rescues going in New Bern, North Carolina?
We want to thank our brave first responders who are out there working now in terrible conditions. Over 100 people in New Bern have been rescued, but there's still more to go. We're glad to see the sunlight here. We're executing our plan, but now it's time to move from preparation to determination. A lot of people did evacuate, and we're grateful for that. We got almost 20,000 people in 157 shelters. We have a lot of medical shelters that are set up, but this is going to be a long slog for North Carolina. Florence is an uninvited guest who does not want to leave. And we really know that with this rain,
they're saying 40 to 45 inches of rain
sometimes measured in feet
in the next 2 days now. They're going to get.
When the sun comes out, these rivers are going to continue
to
rise.
3 feet.
Have significant flooding, so we have to be ready for that.
Governor, when it comes to rescue efforts, which will be another part of this phase, we're still hunkering down. Who's taking the lead? Is that local officials, police departments?
Let's see if I can get actual weather report.
The Cajun Navy is there. We've got the National Guard and military. How are you coordinating that?
That's a lot of rain. I know.
Our state emergency response center is coordinating it. We have.
Hey, sweetie, how are you? Hey, Richard.
19 different states who've come to North Carolina and are on the ready. And of course, we have our local teams that are out there along with state teams. And yes, we have volunteers who come in with boats like the Cajun Navy.
All we're getting here in Virginia Beach
we are going to be needing them
is sustained winds of 25 with gusts up to 45.
Massive storm surge coming in.
Nothing like
at
this.
high tide with more rain falling into the rivers. There's just nowhere else for that water to go. So we've done, I think, a good job of pushing the evacuation message for the last week. And I'll tell you, last night I was thinking about all of the people who are staying with friends and families or in hotels or in one of our evacuation shelters, wondering whether they're even going to have a home to go back to. So after this initial storm is over, we're going to have a long process of recovery and rebuilding, and we're all going to have to work together to make sure we get that done.
Well, you've got a busy day. Governor Cooper, thank you very much for joining us live from down there in Raleigh today.
Thanks.
Thank you, Governor.
All right. Jenna's going to give us the latest on the location. One other thing to add to it, I was reading in some of the papers down there that apparently one of the worries is once the sun comes out, snakes. Apparently,
Oh, God, they can
the
keep
worry
the
is
snakes.
that, this great big wash of water is going to take some snakes that had been in the low country and in the grasslands, put it in people's
They
neighborhoods.
gotta go somewhere.
And the main worry is cottonmouths.
Right.
Cottonmouths out there.
I didn't know
That's a type
about
of
the
snake?
cottonmouths until I went to infantry training down at Fort Benning in Georgia, and you learn about it, and you don't want any part of it. So
That's a type of snake?
it's a type of
It
snake,
is.
yeah.
Not a good.
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth?
All right, Janice, finally Florence has made landfall.
Yes, officially, 7:15 a.m.
There we go. We
Eastern
actually get a
Time,
weather
Wrightsville
report.
Beach is the official landfall. Remember, that is the quietest part of the storm. It's the lowest pressure, according to the National Hurricane Center. So it's just a historical point, but now we have it, making landfall, North Carolina, Wrightsville Beach, as of 7:15 Eastern Time, and
Up to
there it
11
is
feet
on
of
the
storm
radar.
surge.
Official landfall at
Jeez.
90 mile per hour sustained winds. The core of the strongest winds. And we've gotten reports of over 100 mile per hour winds overnight last night. And again, the legacy of the storm is not going to be the winds. It's going to be the rain. So there's Florence making landfall officially now as of the National Hurricane Center bulletin that was just issued just moments ago. All right, let's take a look at it. There's the current radar. So the core of the strongest storms, of course, in just west of that, and then the backside of the storm is going to come on shore. So I know we have Bill Hemmer in Wilmington. He is feeling the worst of the rain and the winds, and the storm surge is going to be continuing, ongoing, because the storm slowing down. So there's some of the wind gusts, certainly over 100 miles per hour. And then, of course, we've gotten reports of over 10-foot storm surge in and around the New Bern area. We are going to continue to feel the effects, ongoing effects from this system, not only today, but tomorrow and into the weekend. And that's why this is going to be a very memorable storm system, because of the water.
Yes.
We're in phase 2 now.
Yeah.
The storm. All right, thank you very much, Katie.
All right, guys, I'm going to get
You
moving.
just heard her say. Bill
Thank
Hemmer
you
is
so
live in
much
Wilmington,
for
North
watching.
Carolina.
If you
That's
like
where he
what
has
you're
chosen
watching
to
and me
ride the
keeping
storm
up
out.
with the
Bill, give us
storm,
an update.
please give me a thumbs up and let me know.
Hey guys, we just moved a couple
God
feet
bless.
here.
Be
We're using
safe.
this
You
brick
guys
wall
are
to my
awesome.
Left here, Rob, show them that just to give us a little bit of protection.
Wait a minute.
Guys, if you were looking at us on a compass right now, due north is that way, and what Janice is describing as Wrightsville Beach is 8 miles due east. Rob, swing around here. There's a local reporter out here in the parking lot, but just past here, you see these trees? This has been the image that we have had now for, I'd say, the better part of 4 hours. And my guess is, based on what Janice is describing, is that we're going to have this for about another hour before the eye wall comes on here. You see the parking lot out here? Another reporter out here in the middle. This parking lot was, you could walk there maybe an hour ago, and now it's got 12 inches of water and climbing. Behind me is the Cape Fear River. Cape Fear River, might remember the movie from 1991. Shades of that movie today, a movie about revenge, and Florence right now is taking a little bit of a revenge out on this part of the Carolinas. 90 miles an hour sustained winds from the north. We expect that to move to the northeast and watch that storm swirl around. I tell you, Steve, I thought the worst bit of news for this forecast came last night when it went from 12 miles an hour forward speed to about 10 miles an hour, and then it dropped to 5 miles an hour, and that was really pretty much in the forecast. A lot of folks thought it was going to take a jog to the southwest. It still may do that, but when you've got a storm of this size moving only 5 miles an hour, it gets you an idea just how much rain is going to come here. Rob, you can show them this too. This is just coming off the second floor of the hotel where we're standing. You see that drainage pipe? That's popping down in the parking lot, and now the imagination reels, because you think about an image like that that stretches over a period of 200 miles on the coast and then inland. So, water finds a way to go eventually, and that's what a lot of people are going to be feeling very soon.
Mentioned how slow the storm is traveling.
I will be
5 miles
safe.
per hour. It's going to
You
go
guys.
through the center. On Sunday
God
morning at
bless.
2
Be
a.m. and
safe.
Dana
Thank
said
you
it's
for
gonna whip
watching.
up to New
You guys are
York,
awesome.
actually, but won't hit our area up here until next Wednesday.